Very cool. Well, awesome. So what do y'all know, Brian and Amy, about the Healy? Do you have any questions? Is there anything you want to know before we just kind of dive in? What kind of questions do you have?
Well, I'm a healer. I'm a therapist and intuitive healer. And I've known about this for a little while, just in the circles in Boulder where I practice, So we don't necessarily need to be sold on the device. We're more just curious to feel the distance frequency stuff and just,
Cool.
like know what it's actually like before we commit at that level, And then I think we've never been MLM direct marketing salespeople at all, like even as customers. And so there's the part of us that's like, well, okay, I could use this device for our family, for my practice, but it's tempting because you're like, wow, there's like all this potential. But so I do have more questions about maybe that side of things also, but I'm mostly just curious to feel the frequency of, the remote part of it.
Beautiful. Well, I always tell people to put their tasers away because I don't sell this at all. I connect with people, I give them the energy, I leave them with information, and then I say, if you're called, great. If not, okay. If there's anybody else who wants to check it out, great. I like I said, my job is a senior vice president for the fastest growing financial services company in the country. Like, I did not expect ever to, this is my first MLM. Being at the level I am, I have a lot of clients who are in MLMs. I've got a lot of people who are their friends who are just like, oh, I've got this new thing. And I'm always like, yes, and this one, because my mission is to help everybody embrace prosperity through financial education, actually get financial education in school systems to undo what the Rockefellers did by creating the General Board of Education in 1903 and creating the school systems. So it's actually undoing that. And this ties into all of what Tesla was doing and how they were thwarted, and energy medicine could have been released in the 1900s. And so this is, for me, how generally when people go after their personal finances, they go right to their health. And if we can get that sooner and also potentially reduce medical expenses, because on our side, we had about spent 6 figures for my wife and my son. So for us, it was like, wait, we can do we can do all that. Like, I'm on it. And immediately for us, it was like, wait a second, we can, at no cost, I can help friends, I can help family members. And I just started giving this energy away, and people started going, well, can I buy one? And I went, I guess, if you want. And that's my sales pitch.
Right, exactly.
For sure.
More like, if we did that, I don't even know what that means or looks like, because I've always just been like, I'm not even looking in that direction,
I'm on the same path. I'm figuring it out. And I sit back and I honestly don't care about the money. It's literally about meeting my life's mission, and it's right on the same path. So without further ado, I think the easiest thing to do would be, so there's 2 things that this does, be above and, well, a lot of things it does above and beyond. There's the gold, there's the holistic health, there's a holistic health plus, and those are basically the range of the programs that come with it. The more higher version, the more programs. This one, though, it is able to connect into the quantum field and connect with you. So it's got, I'll hold it up here. This is a different app. So there's the pink app that you are connected to, that you probably connected with Stephen and Missy's. This is the blue dot app. So it analyzes your aura. That's the bottom one, your chakra system. And then this one up here we'll do next. And it basically goes through all of the 120 programs, actually more than that, because the Resonance has more programs than all of those. And it basically says what is of your highest benefit, what's going to be the most outlier of your energy in comparison to where its highest optimal resonance is. So it's basically going to go, where are you actually? And the furthest ones you are, that's the one it's going to focus on and just going to call you home. So that's what we're going to do for both of you, Amy and Brian. So the first thing we'll go ahead and do is collect some basic information. You can you can claim yourself as a person, animal, plant, organization, building, vehicle, or group. in January, they just announced that they are going to start doing pet programs as well, because they got a harness, which is
cool.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Cool.
And with my kiddos, I don't connect them. I just Healy them all the time while they're running around. So, which is, it's hard to strap them down for 20 minutes, let alone an hour. So,
but this one, you can still strap in with this model, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep, I do it all the time. Because because we'll go into the, then after we go into the chakras, we'll go into how the resonance works in comparison to directly connected with the second app, so that you really understand. They're super simple. If you have any tech ability at all, it's very intuitive. A lot of my clients are in their 60s and 70s, know nothing about tech, and they're going, it might be a little slower, but they pick it up after a few days. So it's super easy. So basically what it does is it's going to tap into your energy imprint by asking a few questions. So your first name, last name, what is your date of birth, Amy?
So this is the thing where you're setting me up as a client in the software, right?
Okay. Exactly.
Are you in the Superhuman Frequencies Facebook group?
I think so.
We are.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been just fiddling around in there, reading posts and trying to get a feel for things from that.
So
cool. And you said you live in Boulder, is that right?
Yeah.
And what's the zip code out there?
We're at 80026. If you need we're technically in Lafayette. If it's like.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say that's a Lafayette zip code. Yeah, I used to live in Louisville and Erie. We just moved to Oregon like 2 months ago. Yeah. All right, and I'm gonna take a picture of you. So smile. I'm gonna get an energetic imprint. Awesome. There we go. So we've got that information, and then what it's going to do is connect to the Healy. So basically, after it connects to the Healy, what it's going to do is start basically just analyzing your chakra systems. It's going to go in there when it's 100%. What the first thing it will do is it'll give a picture representation of your auric field. I don't know how to read those yet. I imagine that people kind of see auras around people's faces and whatnot. What I do is I come up here to the top right, and it'll give you a percentage of where each chakra is in comparison to where it, I guess, needs to be, because red vibrates at its own frequency or whatnot. So if it's out of alignment, that means that there's something else in there. So if your root chakra is supposed to be red, but it's out of alignment, that means there could be purple or blue or whatever, right? And that means that you're not experiencing this reality, you're experiencing some of this too. And it's all a perception of that perspective of reality. So what it'll do is it'll automatically select the 3 that are most out of alignment. But because you're not rocking 100, I'm just going to choose all of them. And what it will do is it will analyze all your chakras, and the intention, because this is intention based, it works a lot of or if you're familiar with the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, that if you look at it, it's there. So through our intention of seeing, we deem it so. So the intention of this is my aura is strong and stable. I love to hold space and co-create this, and with 5 people on here, this is going to be some powerful stuff. So it's gonna start analyzing, and what it will do is it'll go through each of the 7 different chakras. And what's great about this is people don't know the chakra system. It gives information in PDFs throughout here, but I love how it just reminds you, okay, just this chakra is for this part of your body. This is this body. And so you can just kind of get used to it. Now, once we get here to this place, this is where I saw the shadow of my shadow. I do a lot of shadow work, but I had never seen that shadow before. And I went, boom, that was a core one. And it really rocked me. And that's when I knew that this was it. And basically what it's gonna say, so brow chakra is supposed to be indigo, but there's some yellow green. And because of that yellow green, what is it that are you experiencing? So it'll give you your present state, and then also it'll say what it's going to give you. And then if that is accepted, which is a big deal, you have to integrate, you get to integrate this energy, then you'll be experiencing said vibration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send myself PDFs, and then I'll bundle them together. I'll send you all that information after this. And then for the next, I know it's going to be quick, it's only going to be 1 minute and 20 seconds. Generally when we're starting people out, because we're going to be running like 4 different programs, when you total it all together, it could be anywhere from 6 to 10 minutes or more. And when we part, I'll ask you for your favorite direction of energy, and I'll just say goodbye, and you do whatever it is that you want, and I'll keep hitting you with energy. So right now, what I love about this is I can be up and active and doing what I want, though my preference is sitting and accepting and really sitting in energy. So if you do have any thoughts, emotions, feelings, or sensations, just kind of give us like a play-by-play update, if you will, that it's happening, so that we know. Sometimes people don't feel energy because they're just not used to it, but I'm always curious when I connect with individuals like yourself who use energy every day, what it feels like. So we're just gonna sit and be quiet, and if you have anything in 3, 2, 1, it's going.
Yep, I'm feeling it at my right leg. That's like one of my body somatic experiences where I'm oftentimes in a different lifetime, and it like doesn't always focus in, and it literally, it's funny because it like holds me back, right? So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, but it's also a grounding sensation, but it's like sifting out some of the like ego body stuff that's, you know, kind of my typical go-to shit, for lack of a better word. Whoa, super hot. I'm taking off my sweatshirt. I'll stop there. Whoa. Which I just take that in as like a really super high vibration in the cells. It's doing like waves of the levels, probably the levels of my field into my 6th chakra. And just like lots of like constant integration, vertically central channel stuff.
No.
Okay. Well, we're done with that part, but over the next 12 to 24 hours or more, it's gonna keep coming. So this is really where it gets fun. So on the next part of it, there was the 2 ways we could have gone: chakra and then the resonance for the analysis app. So if you can see here, there's things like Bach flower remedies, materia medica, amino acid, Australian bush flowers, Alaskan gem elixirs. If you're into astral projection or crazy stuff like that, this is epic, by the way. Shellster cell salts and I Ching. That one literally is money. I kid you not. Every time it's prosperity, prosperity. I run it. I get a new client on my appointment calendar. It's like, it's so intense. I haven't told people about it yet because I'm like, is it just me? But it's pretty interesting. And then the other, so with those, you choose one program and then it'll analyze. So of the Bach flowers, there's 39 options. Of the amino acid, there's 76. What it'll do is that if you choose one specific program page, which is like a category, it'll choose 5 of the top programs that you are of your highest resonance, or basically your highest benefit. Yeah. So what you can do is you can go down to each different program page, like the gold cycle or pain, learning, fitness, learning for my kids. It's changes light years, job, sleep, beauty, skin, mental balance, kids, my kids, bioenergetic balance 1 and 2. Those are physiological and biological functions, or organs, or different parts of the body. Meridians 1 and 2. So a lot of Eastern medicine chakra programs. So you can go specifically. I work with a lot of people on their root chakra because they're not embracing prosperity. So we hone them in, and the changes that have come in the last 2 months, it's crazy. Protection programs. So 5G, EMF, people, cellular protection while you sleep, or just general protection while you're walking around. And then deep cycle programs, those are more, I relate them to cleanses. So over body cleanses or system, kidneys that was a lifesaver. And then all Healy programs. So this is the one that's really cool. It's going from shifting from practitioner focus to patient focus. Is a patient can come and go, okay, well, which of these 17 programs are of my highest benefit? Let's see which of those 7 programs. So what it'll do is it'll say it'll take a program page, 5 of them, and do all 5 at the same time. So there could be 5 here, 7 here, 9 there, 8 there, 6 there, and you could be running 29 or 30 different programs at the same time. Next.
Not such a thing as too much.
What's that?
I said there's not such a thing as too much or too many.
There are, and that's something that they recommend not running more than 2 or 3 connected programs a day. And it really does come light worker right here, sun gazer, dormant DNA unlocker right here. And so for myself, I can't get enough. I actually am being guided to kind of back off, because over the last 2 months, it's been go and so much ascension and so much, it's been amazing. And now it's like, okay, integrate.
Yeah.
So it's different for everybody. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. When you have somebody who eats standard American diet, who's got major medical stuff, and they start this, they do one program, they might not sleep that night. They might be in more pain than they are, because it's like a sludgy river that's starting to get moving after being stagnant. So it's all personal. So if you've got somebody like yourself guiding people, it would be, that would be such a great way, because then they have a physician network that you might be able to connect with. And what I'm helping practitioners realize is that you can actually switch to a no-cost service basis and actually make more money off of doing Healy, giving your services away and teaching people to heal themselves through modalities of teaching people like Reiki themselves, so that they can do that themselves and truly embrace the 5th dimensional energy of prosperity. So, which is what I'm teaching people how to do. So with this one, the intention, the chakra intention, you can change manually. This one is set. So with what do I have the greatest resonance now? That's the intention. So, and what it's going to do is it's going to find those program pages, 5 of them, and see which of the top 5 is of your benefit. And then the next round we're going to do is we're going to take the one that was the highest, and we're going to go into that one and get your 5 top programs. And then when somebody has a resonance, they can go, oh, well, that top one, let me connect with that one directly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we just go layer, and then connect. So if you want to be very specific and somebody's looking to do something very specific, I like running one program at a time.
Okay.
But while I'm meditating for 2 hours or all night or something like that, I like having the option of being disconnected to that. So, so here we go. So the intention is, with what do I have the greatest resonance now? All right, all done. So the first one that brought up is chakra program, and the next one are the meridians program 2. Let me just go ahead and look that up right now. So the meridians program 2, that's going to be allergy, connective tissue, bladder, large intestine, small intestine, fatty degeneration, gallbladder, joints, skin, and heart. And then we've got skin. So that's going to be support local scars, and it's just systemically and locally. We've got skin support, so elasticity, and then also acne. And then we've got the gold cycle. This is what's with all of the Healys. These are the ones that Nuno Nina came up with. They're 144,000 frequencies. And by the way, Healy Resonance will do over 10 million frequencies. It'll align and optimize over 10 million, which is really interesting. So this goes into pure, which is detoxification, care, which is basically nutritional elements, balance is for muscle balance, being is mental, energy, of course, is energy, relaxation, and then release is for pain. And then we've got beauty. And this was actually what came up a lot for me, was inner beauty for myself. So inner beauty, hair, skin, aging, nails, and elasticity are those. And so I'll get this PDF and I'll send that to myself again. All right, so here we're gonna go again for 1:20, and 3, 2, 1.
Getting more like radiation, like radiating energy kind of a feeling, but then it's like going into my, I hold a lot of my childhood trauma in my jaw, and I can like feel that all, you know, releasing or shifting. So interesting. I've never known of this or seen it before, but it's like there's energy receptors like in the bones. Like I haven't really worked with bones in this way, and they're like recalibrating like the skeleton. It's crazy.
All done. Oh, isn't this fun? I love connecting with people who can explain what's going on in my head.
Yeah, I'm gonna be still working that one out for a while. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, get ready for when your brain does that. And when I did the learning one, it was just inside of my brain was doing one of those. It was really interesting. All right.
Yeah,
so
I'm so excited for, because I do something called brain spotting in my practice, which is like, I mean, a lot of this stuff, even when I'm working energetically compared to the frequency stuff that's on this powerful level of like multiple frequencies at once, it's like I'm just still using like a hammer and nails, you know.
Oh, that's great. All right, so now we're gonna do it. I'm gonna connect with the Healys real quick. We're gonna go dive down into the meridians. Oh, I gotta wait. Sometimes we get to restart the Healy, the Healy app. Just got a new phone. My old phone.
I would imagine the tech is like this glitchiness is probably the worst part of it.
You know, it is. I was on a there's a weekly Healy USA with the general managers and all the top leaders in the company, and they are getting all these complaints about the app not working. It has nothing to do with the app because of the amount of CPUs that it's running and the data that it's running. So anytime the app gets glitchy, it has nothing to do with the app or the device. It has everything to do with people's operating system on their phone. So yeah.
We haven't had much problems connecting ours, you know, it usually connects just fine for us.
Yeah, me too. I mean, if anything, I just turn off the app, turn the power here, start it back up, and it's ready to go. All right.
So there's always an exchange too with the person, right? And there's like probably some part of me that's like, whoa, hang on. Like I'm still integrating that thing, you know, like that's always happening. I do, especially doing all my clients on telehealth right now. it's hilarious actually how many times the connection gets bad or like something happens right when we're doing a very specific thing. It's like
fourth dimensional energies coming in. They're like, we got to shut this technology down. Yeah, that happened the other day. I was doing some coaching with one of my clients, and we're diving down into the technological triggers of light workers and showing how he could go and do inner child work and shadow work, actually building his website, because that was the thing that triggered him most. And we started talking about it and diving down into technology, and all of a sudden, that's where the recording ended. And nothing, it was crazy. It was one of the best conversations I've ever had about this subject. I've never actually talked about it before. And I went to go edit it, and it was gone. I'm like,
yeah,
right. It was so real. It was so real. It got blown out of this dimension.
Right. Just went away.
All right, so we're gonna last one. We'll go ahead and dive into meridians, and so we'll just hold the intention with what do I have the greatest resonance now. All right, and this pulled up lungs, hormonal balance, kidneys, stomach, and nerve meridians. The nerves is one of my favorite ones so far, and also kidneys. Every time I've done a kidney, it does its magic. All right, and now 1 minute and 20 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Feel how I can tell the layers of worth, like why that was the last one. It's kind of it's hard to put into words. But yeah. Cool.
We got 10 more seconds. And so I'll put, this is where I always offer the wild card, is when we disconnect, you tell me one thing you want to dive into, I'll send you that energy. And then also every day with this, you can do groups. And so I created a group through intention that if you want to be part of the group that day, you have the intention to be a part of that group that day. And if you don't, you don't. And every day I send out aligning energies for chakras and the highest benefit for the group. So just know that my intention is to align with your highest benefit that helps you align with your optimal timeline, knowing that that serves my highest benefit, that helps me align with my optimal timeline, and also does that for the conscious collective as well. That's my intention. So if you'd like to do that, then just have that intention. It'll already be set, and you do it when you want. And then that's also something that when you're sharing this, you can still continue to help people even if they don't buy. So what you're doing is you're leveraging the law of compensation. Right. You're serving the masses with unconditional expectations, love. You're sending it out there. And people are going, I have people now coming back a month later going, are you still doing that thing with me? I'm like, yeah. They're like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So, yeah.
Cool beans.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Awesome. So we're done. And did Brian want to go too?
Yeah, he's like making dinner.
Sorry, I'm just trying. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll snag some information. Take a quick picture. I always love how like most people don't smile. I'm like, why? Why wouldn't you smile?
What's the point, man? It's like.
All right, here we go. So first the chakra. And real quick, Amy, what is it that you do? what's your business? Just curious.
Well, I'm trained as a psychotherapist, art and marriage and family, and I've moved more toward energy, intuitive healing, some hands-on, but lots of just teaching people how to manage their energy, and a lot of trauma healing, a lot of kind of combining the energy healing with the psychotherapy stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brian, so here you are on it. So we're going to go ahead and same thing. It's going to go through all of your chakras, your causal, your spiritual, your etheric, your energy, your mental, emotional bodies. And yeah, here we go. Almost done. Okay, and then for 1 minute and 20 seconds, here we go. And again, if you feel anything, Brian, let us know. Play by play.
I'm much more of a skeptic than Amy is, but I do feel a persistent tickle in the back of my throat. I would associate with my fifth. That's about it.
All right, 5 seconds. All right, so that was the first one. And now the next one that we're going to go into is saying what is of your highest benefit. So of all the 17 different programs, you're going to hold the intention now with what do I have the greatest resonance now? No need to answer the question. It will answer itself. All right, so the first program it came up with was the Healy Gold, and then Pain in Psyche is the next. Sleep, protection, and then chakras. So those are the programs that are going to be run. And again, I'm just going to send myself this PDF. All right, for the next 1 minute and 20 seconds, here comes the energy. All right, last 5 seconds. Okay. And since it chose the gold, we'll go into that real quick and see what is of your highest benefit and what do you have the greatest resonance now. We'll do it for another 1 minute and 20 seconds. And then answer any questions that you have and get an email, and that's it. So the first one is being. Let's see. And then pure, relax, release, and then energy is going to be the last. And here we go for another minute and 20. All right, all done. There we go. So the main things, drink water, and also know it might not be sunshine, rainbows, butterflies, and all that jazz. For a lot of people it is, some people not. So if you've ever gone on a cleanse before, this might be your day 2 of a cleanse type feeling of like, oh, I don't feel so well. But that's literally because there's a higher resonating frequency and vibration. Those lower dimensional things can't exist in that space. So it kind of nails on a chalkboard. They say I'm out, and the way that they go is generally your intestines, and if there's any leaky gut, there might be some kind of back like absorption. So if anything feels like that, then I've done things like activated charcoal or food grade bentonite clay. I've been digging Epsom salt baths these days. I've never felt better with that. I've never been a bath guy actually until this, and now I'm the second I get off of this, that's what I'm doing. So what now that you've experienced the energy, that's it. That's my sales pitch. You feeling the energy? What? that's it. What questions do you have about Healy, about the company, about the opportunity itself, business opportunity? What I'm an open book.
Did you want to say anything about what I feel like you have probably different questions than I do?
No,
it's really quiet.
No, I really don't. I tend to defer to you since you're a much more into the efficacy of this kind of modality and methodology. I mean, I come from, well, most recently I come from being, heads down into deep analytical quantum physics, doing documentary films on it. So I've kind of pulled my head out of that game in the last couple of months, and now returning to it a little bit more from a less academic side and more from a kind of like applicable,
like experiential,
right, and a little more spiritual and esoteric than remembering names and dates. Well, like I was saying a moment ago, I mean, because you're dealing with this kind of stuff on a practical level every day with your clients, sorry, I tend to defer to Amy for a lot of that stuff. I mean, for a lot of stuff, period, across the board. I tend to defer to Amy. But trying to think if I have any questions. I mean, certainly, I think you're right, and I think what Steve and Missy were explaining to us earlier, the thing either sells itself or it doesn't. And I suspect that something along this lines, when you're going to sit down with someone, they're either interested in it and susceptible to it, marginally speaking, or they're resistant, and you're probably not going to sit down with them anyway. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just rapping.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing the
Thank you.
I mean, I just was really curious about that because I have a different, more clinical level super 90s microcurrent device that I use called an alpha stim. It's just a brain wave. It's just an alpha wave. It's like one frequency, for like the whole machine. So I'm really excited to feel and experience it. And whatever, I don't know if you didn't feel anything, but even as he was receiving energy, I was regulating to that just automatically. Like I could just feel like I could have been talking while you were receiving and just been saying what's happening for me, So I think it's amazingly powerful, and I'm really excited to just know that, because I have a friend here who's like, I think only the wristbands work, like one of those kind of things, because she actually had it and returned it, which I know, but she also has a lot of resistance, like in her field, even though she's like cognitively open. So I thought it was kind of funny. But so I guess from a business perspective, I feel the same way. Like I do everything intuitively. I'm already like, yeah, I totally want to do this. But then I jump into things because of the intuition, and then I don't think through the logistical, practical stuff.
Sure.
So I guess if you could just kind of say more about like, what's it actually like if you, start selling these, and now you've got this like kind of side hustle that maybe even gets bigger than that, and then you're kind of like, what does that look like? I mean, does it just look like a bunch of Zoom calls like this with your people that are underneath you, or like, like when I started a group therapy practice, all of a sudden I was an HR person, and I was like, I don't want to be an HR person rather than a therapist. So just like, how does it change what you're doing, or, like what's your day like?
Wonderful. And for me, I look at this also as the opportunity to expand my network and create opportunities for my main business.
Right.
As a senior vice president for the fastest growing financial services company in the country, I'm in 20 different states. So I'm going to meet people in all states. I can help anybody. And when they find out and get connected with me some way, and they figure out I can do this and this and this and this and this and this and this,
right.
It doesn't matter how they get in my scope. So I'm thinking about it as a holistic business strategy, that you're bringing solutions to the table. And so for me, logistically, it makes sense. It's the best networking tool I've ever seen, because you put it out there and people are curious. Well, now you have something that somebody else doesn't. And and also from a business perspective, when you're connecting with people, you can connect them and do what you normally would do at no additional cost. You can give this to them, and now you're different than everybody else who does what you do. So right away, you're separating yourself in the marketplace, and it's a business write-off. So that's always fun, because we're not getting mileage anymore. That's a bummer. But yeah, this is what I do. I've got the resonance, and Stephen and Missy, I told them, hey, I'll run a number of your appointments. You're working up to get a resonance, and after that, you don't need me. I mean, you don't need me to do this for you once you have a resonance. Right. Or even if you want to focus solely locally and connect with people one-on-one, you don't need me. You just turn it on care or relax or being, and run it for 15, 20 minutes and let them, and then you send them information, answer questions and whatnot. So from a business perspective, I put things through a filter that I don't herd cats, I don't push rope. And so that's not, it got right through. So for me, if, there are some individuals in their 70s who can't figure out technology. Okay, cool. I'm going to spend a little bit more time with you, because I'm going to honor that. But somebody like Steven, I'm just like, dude, energy. You figured this out, baby. Here's some videos. Here's a manual. Here's the PDFs. And he's running. And that's how I look at it, is like, this is my business. This is my time. If you're going to put really skeptical people in front of me, I'm going to stop accepting your invites. But they do all the front work. They connect with people, like you were saying, Brian. If they want it, they'll ask. They'll want energy. So I'm the conduit, if you will. And why I also love this is, just like with Reiki or any other energy modality, I the channel. I get this stuff too, just like you were saying, Amy. I'm like, cool. So we get to do this again. Like, can we do it again? It's like, yeah, So it's less and less of business activities. For myself, I love aligning with leaders and showing people how to level up and be leaders. I don't teach people how to have followers. I teach people how to create other leaders. That's what I do professionally. That's how I coach. That's how I train. Anything. If you want followers, then go start a music band. Like I'm not about that. Like it really is Stephen, Missy, leaders. They're bringing me leaders. That's really what's happening. And I love it. And I'm running with them. And so for myself, I tell anybody, hey, if you're working towards getting a resonance, then I'm going to help you. If you're kind of like, I'll do this a little bit every once in a while, sometime, no time, maybe time, it's like less likely to do that. So it really comes down to you. Like on the financial side, right now it's really direct sales. So whenever the sale is made, like I'm not making any money off of this. I'm doing it because of the relationship that I have. Moving forward, it's really not in the MLM perspective right now because there's not that ongoing. Any of the new programs, the bioenergetic support, which is basically the fountain of youth, which focuses on aging and stem cells and reversing that stuff. That program's coming out, I believe, December 1st of 2020. And then the PETS program is coming out in January of 2021. They already have 3 programs. One's for health and nutrition. One is an analysis kind of thing like the resonance, but it's different. And then there's another one that I'm DNS something. Anyway, I'm still.
Ones, you mean?
What's that?
Are those more the subscription programs?
Yes. So that's where and they're now that they have the units out, they're shifting towards the monthly subscriptions, where that's where people will start purchasing on a monthly basis. So right now it's really in the distribution phase of get this in people's hands. The next phase is really going to be focusing on, well, there is more there that you can do on a monthly subscription. And like with that's what creates the residual income and the multi-level stuff, is that you've got people who are purchasing those ongoing memberships, because with this, once I sell it, you got the choice of doing a monthly subscription or not. And myself, I'm absolutely going to do the pet one, and I'm probably going to do the bioenergetic support. So, and I don't know, I'm just really curious for myself. So I think I might just do them all just to see what they are, all of them. And then so I can speak to them. And so there's that residual element of that. And then also the direct sales commission. And there's like 8 ways that you can get compensated. I don't know them all. This is my first MLM. I'm the last guy to teach compensation. They're really forthcoming with the information. They have a dashboard that has an academy in it, so you can learn the programs, the how-to from the practitioner level. Because this originally was created by Time Waver, which is a company in Germany that came out 17 years ago that was only practitioner based. So you had to spend $100,000 on this machine, and you could only get these frequencies if you were a patient and you saw them. And this was a bulky unit. And so the last few years, 15 years or so, they have got that technology smaller and smaller. And the idea was to be able to put it into people's hands. So it goes from practitioner to patient led. And where this first year, it's basically all distribution, getting it out. Next, it's focusing on those ongoing residual monthly subscriptions. That's where there's that multiplier effect, if you will. So right now let's find more leaders, let's connect with more people, because we're building. And I believe in multiple aligned rivers of passive profits. And this is one of them. And I'm so aligned with this, and it meets, all of my value. It's on all of my value systems, like right in line. So for myself, every week on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I attend a meeting that is run by the Healy USA leadership team and whatnot. Every other Friday going on right now, they have Frequency Fridays from the C-suite team, if you will. There's a bunch of different groups, like you mentioned. I'm putting together, I've got a website, funnels. I've got a YouTube channel that I'm putting together. One of my specialties that I teach my clients how to do, so that the more money I teach people to have and create, the more money they're going to save and put away for themselves. So it always circles back. So, and one of the things that I do, Amy, is I teach people how to get on the first page of Google and YouTube instantaneously with all of their videos, so that they can attract their soul clients and soul partners and not be out there networking or prospecting, they can be with their family and then work, and then give away more than they ever have in their life. So right now I'm actually waiting until I have more people with resonances so I can hit the go button on the system. And once that go button goes, if you want, I will give you people to connect with. Because I can't, like, my calendar, there's no space. So I'm like, all right, Missy, you got some time tonight? Or you got some time tomorrow? I got somebody, okay, okay, here. And then Amy, Brian's got one, okay, Brian, Saturday, Sunday, okay, here. And it's gonna be just giving them away. And because of the last time I did not, it was myself a few years ago. I didn't build an agency in my financial services. I didn't train or mentor anybody. So I hit go on the system. I had 40 appointments on my calendar one week. I almost died. I told myself I'd never do that again. And I shut the system down because it like literally was like, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
It's literally all or nothing. And so with this, this is the first time I'm actually being able to use the system, because I have people that I can funnel the conversations to, because it's got some pretty big filters, and only the people who are getting through are like yourself, who are very curious and very interested and just want to experience it. I've read, I've watched, I've listened, I want to see. And so that's how I run the business. That's my focus, and it works really, really well for me. So
does Healy have any like, are there a lot of restrictions on how you can talk about it or promote it, or what's that part like?
Great question. The main restrictions they have are around what it can do. So it is a class 2 medical device that's been cleared by the FDA for pain. It is not, it does not heal anything. It does not cure anything. It does not do any of that stuff. Does it align all frequencies in your body that are for optimal? And if this is optimal and in a place of ease, and you are optimating over here out of or in dis of ease, then you're having a state of dis-ease. And if you align that, then you might be able to experience ease again without that dis portion of that. You know, you can draw the line and connect the dots, and people understand that you can't say things like it heals or it does. It's more of, biggest thing is around testimonials. It's got to be personal, not like, hey, I saw this person who saw this person. It's or knows this person. It's connecting that way. And there is compliance do's and don'ts, and it mainly comes around what you're saying around what it does. If you're promising, hey, tomorrow that blah 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 is just going to go away, then you're putting yourself and the company at risk. So that's the main thing. But when it comes to social networking, and I mean, that all is fair, because that's the world that we live in now, and how else are we going to do this? So,
right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I think we're totally on board. We're just deciding,
Cool.
when.
Sounds great.
Than anything. So.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. I'll send you the PDFs, and also, for yourself, is there anything that you wanted to experience more of? I'll hook you both back up if you'd like. If not, that's okay. And go around of a few more. So was there anything specific, like sleep or pain or just whatever?
For Brian, do you want to do sleep?
Sleep and pain. I've been dealing with this persistent, neck pain for about a year. I had a compression injury that I didn't treat it properly, and now it's become the physical manifestation of all of my stress.
Gotcha.
So that would be incredible if you've got something there.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I've been sleeping quite well. I mean, Trevor, you'll sympathize. We just have two little guys that love climbing in bed with us. So if I'm lucky enough to be woken up and say, hey, I can run upstairs to an empty bedroom, I've been sleeping okay. I just wish I was sleeping, next to my wife, alone.
The earlier ones that I was just like energetically connecting and not listening to the words as much. But I feel like did the I Ching come up for me?
Oh, we can do I Ching. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, I Ching would be huge. I mean, I'm in a situation where I just lost my job in early August.
Done.
And so trying to figure out what's next and how to manifest
Wonderful.
what I do to be the next thing. For
Yeah.
Sure. Sorry to be
No.
I just
hijack your opportunity.
I can just like see those words coming in, so I'm like, I think that one would be
Good.
great.
I love this. So I'll send that over and.
Well, and you know, with 3 kids trying to adjust to their own online schooling experience, it's lucky that I'm around to be with them, but I'm not a trained teacher. So, geez, all 3 of them and myself could all use some additional resonance frequency to help keep us patient.
Yes.
Yep.
Keep the whole house sane.
Yeah, for real, absolutely.
Yeah, the learning and just the energy of the room and our energy of our house totally has shifted, to say the least. And also, I mean, just because you do have that line of business, there is also what's called a fast start promotion right now. We did it in 7 days, but it goes in 30 because we were just like, oh my gosh, this thing is awesome. You got to check this out. I don't care if you don't buy one, just check it. Like,
Yeah.
And in 7 days, we had 3 people buy a system, which gave us a second resonance.
Oh, okay.
Which is really cool. And so if you get one and then your husband becomes another member of yours, then you can think about it as the potential of actually getting 2 secondary or 2 additional resonances that you can use in your practice if you want.
Yeah.
Or borrow them out or rent them or things like that, so that people
I'm pretty sure I have clients who are like already ready to buy them.
Yeah. That was with us too. We're like, all we got to do is show it to people and they want it.
I mean, I've already I have people like, did you have the meeting yet? Like, that's like where I'm at.
You don't even have it in your hands and you're already selling it.
Yeah.
So the resonance is a separate unit than the other 3.
Yeah, and when you get your device, you can always upgrade it. So it's always just the same one.
You can, so like for selling purposes, you can sell the gold or whatever the first one is, and then they never need to turn that in or anything. You just add software that's the upgrade.
Yeah, they just update it.
We just upgraded our Healy Holistic Health to Healy Holistic Health this morning, and it was automatic and immediate upgrade after I paid for it. So it's immediate.
You think they're gonna work on all this customer service stuff that you hear about?
They are setting up a call center in America to ease the strain of being a new company and trying to grow. You don't grow before you grow as you grow, you know.
Right. Oh yeah, I mean, I totally understand it as a business owner, and I don't know, I think people are just narcissistic and complaining in general, so I figured it was probably
people love to complain.
Yeah, well, a lot of people want, you're a company, you're a worldwide company, you should already have this stuff. And it's like, well, it's a startup when you really look at it. And that's their main, every week that I've been getting on their team calls, that's the first thing they talk about is distribution, manufacturing, customer service. Their leadership team is aligned, and people who are bitching and sucking their thumb, they're probably going to be doing that without Healy. Quite honestly.
Exactly.
So it is one of those things that
days of using Healy to work those levels.
Right. So for myself, when I ordered my Healy, it took almost a month to get here. Every single other person is about 7 days that has been.
Oh wow!
Getting
So they've like mixed it in.
Yeah, mine was 2 weeks and Steven's was 3 days.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so all those things are happening. They're getting distribution centers, they're getting call centers. They've switched from an email to a help desk. So that's been a big deal as well. So instead of having 1,000 communications a day being backlogged, now they are caught up. So everything is changing from the customer service, and as they're growing, that was every time they get on a call, this is what we're doing. It's always customer service, better customer relations, better, and that's the focus. So, which is why, growing pains. It's a good thing to be here and go, oh my gosh, we're growing so fast. It's like, wow. So it's the biggest MLM launch in history, and you're complaining about distribution taking an extra week.
Right.
I'd rather be aligned with that company at the beginning of the wave
Right.
than doing this wave and saying goodbye.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, Amy, if you do have any questions, let me know in my email. I have my phone number, of course, my email. You can text me, connect with me on social media if you do have any questions. This team is really connected, and if you have any questions, we're here happy to help you. And that's it. That's all.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your generosity of time. I really appreciate that. I'm really excited to order this guy in the morning.
Yeah,
Excellent.
3 a.m. in Berlin. So.
All right. Well, that's
check right now.
There it is. So 3:30, waking up, everybody's meditating and getting their healing. That's great. Awesome. Well, cool beans. Well, I'll send you an email with the PDFs and also with a link with the Team Frost's link in there as well. So you sign up and just make sure on the top left when you go and sign up, it says sponsor Team Frost. That's the main thing you want to look out for.
What's the word you're saying? Foss?
Frost. So their last name, Frost.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Team Frost, yeah. And there'll be a video even in the email that'll literally walk you through how to sign up. So it's step by step. So I appreciate your time. Nice meeting you, Amy. Nice meeting you, Brian. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you.
And absolutely.
Thank you, Amy and Brian.
Thank you.
Steven, have a good weekend, everybody.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
We know that Healy's got you intrigued, so head on over to ChooseHealy.com to see tons of Healy testimonials, hear reviews on the Healy technology, and how to easily get your hands on this game-changing and disrupting opportunity to support you, your family, your community, your clients, and your patients. We look forward to you scheduling a time to experience the Healy Resonance device from wherever you are. So head on over to ChooseHealy.com to receive all the information you require and to schedule your Healy Resonance experience today. You'll be glad you did. Get ready for the new paradigm of affordable energy medicine. It's here today and waiting for you. ChooseHealy.com.